The gun was loaded with live ammunition. The bullet was real, a .22 caliber round capable of traveling at 1,200 feet per second. The distance between the shooter and the target measured exactly 20 feet. The target was Bruce Lee's face. His only defense? A pair of ordinary wooden chopsticks held in his right hand. One chance. One split second to accomplish something that every scientist in the room insisted was physically impossible. The human nervous system, they explained, simply isn't fast enough. The minimum human reaction time is approximately 200 milliseconds, an immutable biological fact. A .22 caliber bullet traveling 20 feet arrives at its target in roughly 50 milliseconds. The mathematics was absolutely clear, the conclusion inescapable. Impossible. Bruce smiled that characteristic calm smile and spoke 5 words that would change everything. "Let me prove you wrong." What happened in the next few seconds would force scientists to question everything they thought they understood about the absolute limits of human performance. The challenge. Los Angeles, September 22, 1972. A private demonstration facility, invitation only. Bruce Lee was at the absolute peak of his physical powers. He had just finished filming Enter the Dragon, and he was widely acknowledged as the fastest martial artist alive, proven on film, documented by cameras, verified by frame-by-frame analysis. His speed was so extreme, it frequently looked fake on camera. His 1-inch punch could launch grown men flying through the air. His kicks moved faster than standard camera shutters could capture cleanly. But Hollywood skeptics persisted in their doubts. Camera tricks, they insisted. Slow-motion footage played in reverse. Wire work. Movie magic. Clever editing. Bruce had grown tired of hearing these accusations, tired of people questioning his speed, his skill, his authenticity. He wanted definitive proof, an undeniable demonstration, something cameras couldn't fake, something science couldn't dismiss, something that would silence the critics forever. Dr. Richard Hayes was there that day, a physics professor at UCLA, published researcher, professional skeptic, and dedicated debunker of pseudoscience. He had studied human reaction times for 2 decades, tested thousands of subjects, published dozens of peer-reviewed papers, and taught graduate courses on neurophysiology. His conclusions were absolute, backed by overwhelming research. Human reaction time has hard biological limits, Dr. Hayes explained to the assembled group. Visual stimulus requires 13 milliseconds to reach the brain through the optic nerve. Brain processing requires a minimum of 150 milliseconds for complex stimuli. Motor cortex activation adds another 30 milliseconds. Signal transmission to the muscles requires 20 milliseconds. Total, 213 milliseconds at the absolute best, and that's for simple reactions, single stimulus, single response. He continued, growing more emphatic. For catching an object in mid-flight, add another 100 milliseconds for trajectory calculation, spatial positioning, and fine motor control. You're looking at 313 milliseconds minimum. A .22 caliber bullet at 20 feet travels in approximately 50 milliseconds. It's physically impossible for a human to react in time. Not difficult, not challenging, impossible. Biology simply doesn't allow it. Bruce listened patiently, nodding with respect, then responded carefully. Dr. Hayes, your calculations assume an average human with an untrained nervous system. They assume a conscious reaction process, normal neural pathways. What if the reaction becomes unconscious? What if 25 years of daily training rewrites biological pathways and creates new neural connections? What if muscle memory bypasses conscious processing entirely? I'm not asking you to believe it's possible based on theory. I'm asking you to watch me do it. Then you can explain what you saw. The scientific objection. Dr. Hayes was intrigued but remained firm. Scientific method demanded rigorous skepticism. Mr. Lee, I respect your abilities tremendously. Your speed is remarkable, measurably faster than the average human. But there's a fundamental difference between fast and impossible. What you're describing violates basic neuroscience and physics. Even if you somehow could react fast enough, which contradicts everything we know, wooden chopsticks cannot stop a bullet. The kinetic energy would shatter them instantly. He pulled out a notepad and began calculating. The bullet has mass and velocity. Kinetic energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. At 1,200 feet per second, that's enormous force, approximately 117 foot-pounds. Wood fibers cannot withstand that impact. Physics doesn't negotiate, mathematics doesn't lie. Bruce's smile widened slightly, that calm expression that suggested he knew something others didn't. Then let's test your physics. Set up your equipment, measure everything. Use high-speed cameras, the fastest you can acquire. Reaction timers, EMG sensors, laser distance measurers, chronographs for bullet velocity measurement, and microphones for sound analysis. Every variable would be measured, every moment documented, every claim verified or debunked with hard data. The gun was a standard .22 caliber pistol, a Ruger Mark II, a common target pistol, not a powerful rifle, not a modified weapon, but powerful enough to kill. The .22 long rifle ammunition travels at approximately 1,200 feet per second. At 20 feet distance, arrival time, approximately 50 milliseconds. Dr. Hayes performed the calculations again, writing them on a large whiteboard for Bruce and all witnesses to see. See, even if you somehow react in 100 milliseconds, which is twice as fast as any human ever measured, the bullet will be past you before you move, and that's assuming instantaneous movement, which violates physics. And even if you move fast enough, the wooden chopsticks will shatter. The bullet's kinetic energy is 117 foot-pounds. Wood cannot absorb that impact. Basic materials science, basic physics, basic biology all say impossible. Bruce's smile widened slightly, that calm expression that suggested he knew something others didn't. Then let's test your physics. Set up your equipment, measure everything. Use high-speed cameras, the fastest you can acquire. Reaction timers, EMG sensors, laser distance measurers, chronographs for bullet velocity measurement, and microphones for sound analysis. Every variable would be measured, every moment documented, every claim verified or debunked with hard data. The attempt. They positioned Bruce at the mark, exactly 20 feet from the shooter, measured with laser precision. The shooter was a professional marksman, a police firearms instructor with 20 years of experience, steady hands, consistent accuracy. He would aim directly at Bruce's face, center mass, no tricks, no angles, straight line, shortest distance, maximum difficulty. Bruce stood ready, chopsticks held loosely in his right hand, not tense. His left hand remained behind his back, eyes focused, breathing steady, slow, deep calm, like still water before a storm. Dr. Hayes explained the protocol clearly. We'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, shoot. The shooter fires on shoot. No early tells, no anticipatory movement from you. You cannot start before the gun fires. That's cheating. You must react to the actual event, not predict it. Understood? Bruce nodded completely. Understood completely. I react when I see the muzzle flash. That's my visual trigger. Not sound, not movement. Light. The muzzle flash. Light travels faster than sound, faster than the bullet itself. That's my signal. The room fell silent. 15 witnesses present. Scientists, researchers, camera operators, skeptics, believers. Everyone watching. Everyone holding their breath. Everyone expecting failure. This was an impossible feat, a circus trick, a movie stunt, an exaggeration. Real life didn't work this way. Biology didn't allow it. Physics prevented it. Mathematics proved impossible. Bruce was about to learn a hard lesson about absolute limits, about reality versus fantasy, about what the human body simply cannot do. Or so they thought. 3. Dr. Hayes began the countdown. Bruce's eyes fixed on the gun barrel, not blinking, not moving. Perfect stillness, like a statue. 2. His breathing slowed further. Heart rate dropped. The biometric sensor showed it clearly. 48 beats per minute. Resting state during maximum stress. Every muscle ready but relaxed. A coiled spring. This was the state he trained 25 years to achieve. No mind motion. Pure reaction. No thought between stimulus and response. No delay. No hesitation. 1.
Time seemed to slow for Bruce. His perception narrowed into tunnel vision. Only the gun existed. Only the muzzle flash mattered. Nothing else in the universe. Shoot! The gun fired. The muzzle flash erupted in brilliant orange. Bruce moved. Not consciously, not thinking, not deciding. Pure reflex, faster than thought, faster than the conscious mind could process. His hand blurred even to witnesses watching intently. One moment perfectly still, the next fully extended. Chopsticks projected forward at a slight angle, not perpendicular to the bullet's path, approximately 30 degrees. Deflection angle. Physics calculation performed unconsciously. Muscle memory built over 25 years, compressed into 50 milliseconds of execution. Ping! The sound of bullet hitting wood. An impossible sound. A sound that shouldn't exist, shouldn't be possible. The bullet should have passed already.